Back to JT Turner. Good to see that he's back behind the saddle again. So we will go ahead. The cake's been baked. We'll get ready to light the candles off of 4. Travis Bowden from the pole position takes the green flag, and we're underway at the Boothill Speedway. On demand on raceontexas.com. Trophy Dash number 1, followed by Pro Mod coming up next, and they're 3 wide there at the tail. Off of 2 down the back straightaway. Glenn Lindsay holding on the 3rd, but one splitting the gap. That's Bubba McEacher looking bad fast here early on. He'll look to maybe throw the slider. Nope. He'll stay tucked around the inside. Lindsay shows him pressure to the outside. Back down the front straightaway. Here we go. We're shaping up for a battle for the race lead. Morgan to the inside of the 11 of Bowden for the top spot. A good race so far, and Lindsay's got problems. The Bad Luck Biscuit will strike for the Keithville native. Into 3. Morgan going to roll the hub of the racetrack to the inside for the top spot. He'll come up a little bit short this time at the line as Bowden still leads. Back into 1. Morgan tried to sidestep him, but unfortunately the car sidestepped out from underneath him. Slipping and sliding around there in the 1 and 2, but here comes Bubba McEacher. Bubba McEacher, the hero in 89 tonight, down the front straightaway, trying to win one for Moms here tonight. Of course, if anybody's paid attention, you know how special Emily Stone is. Of course, Bubba's mom, she's kicked cancer's ass, and I commend her. One of the sweetest ladies you'll meet, and I know that Bubba would love nothing else than to park that car in Victor Lane for Mom tonight, as I'm sure the majority of these guys feel the same way. A little bit extra incentive for him. Off of 2, headed down the back chute for the final time. We'll head down for a quick interview with the driver of number 11.
How do you know that?
Final time off of 4. The WCH Power Bootlegger chassis number 11 from Karnak, Texas. Travis Bowden takes the dub in the Trophy Dash. Well, folks, Travis Bowden getting ready to climb out of the car here. Is he going to climb all the way out or not?
You'll climb out or you can sit there and do it?
No, you can stay in. It doesn't matter. But, yeah, go ahead and climb out because the mic's going to feed back a little bit. Yeah, we got a little bit of time. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen. Big Bad Bowden. Travis Bowden takes the victory. Travis, you finished second here on second night out to Justin Whitehead. You've had a good piece all year long. Let's face the Race on Texas cameras if you don't mind. You've had a good piece all year long, man. It's always nice to start off the night with a few laps here and win a Trophy Dash.
Yeah, it is. We've had a real good car all year. We still got some time to learn some things, and we're trying to get to the front to put this thing under here in the main race.
From where you left off at the middle of 2017 to where you're at now, you satisfied? I mean, obviously, you've really, really come a long way. The learning curve for you is just really, really clicked off.
Like I said, the car is doing really great. We still got to work on getting a little faster. These guys are real competitive, but we're working every week to try to get there, and we're going to make it.
You keep putting yourself in position. One of these days, pretty soon, I feel you're gonna cash in and park this thing at ABC Auto Parts Victory Lane.
Who knows? Hopefully, it'll be tonight.
Hey, man, real quick, let's hear about all the great folks that help you out in this race team.
First off, I got to thank my wife and my kids for allowing me to do this, and God, of course. All y'all race fans for coming out and watching us. It's being hot and everything. Next, Bootlegger Race Cars, man, he's a big part in this thing. He's helped me a ton. WCH Racing Engines, H&R Auto and U-Haul and Wascom, Ed's Automotive, and I actually picked up 2 sponsors this week, Bass Energy Services and Douglas Directional Solutions. So,
awesome deal, man. Congratulations to you. Best of luck in the heat and the feature tonight, my friend.
Thank you.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, out of Karnak, Texas. Travis Bowden parks it in the Trophy Dash. So, Pro Mod Trophy Dash, it looks like that'll be Keller. Bill Keller on the front row. To the outside, it'll be Bradley Barnes. Tim Hornaday in the 911. Glenn Keller out front with the race lead with 2 to go. Final time down the back straightaway in the 3 and off of 4 this time by. He'll be your Pro Mod Trophy Dash winner tonight, and it'll go to Glenn Keller in 2K. It's still feeding back. Okay. I got to tweak on it a little bit more. Well, the driver of the Sputz powered number 2K kind of had a wild ride last time out.
He's going to stay in the car, he said.
So we're going to let Glenn at least get the helmet off here. He's going to stay in the car, and we'll give him a quick word here. From Tyler, Texas, I had to ask him, I forgot. From Tyler, Texas, Glenn Keller and Victor Lane here, race fans. Give him a round of applause, your Trophy Dash Pro Mod winner. Glenn, he had a little bit bad luck the last time out or so, but I tell you, pretty good way to start off the night here at Boothill.
Yeah, we did a lot of changing on the car this week, so it felt pretty good. A lot better than it has the last 2 or 3 weeks. So if we get a little luck on our side, I think we'll be all right.
I tell you what, sometimes it just can't seem to find you, can it?
That's right. And this year's been that.
Did you draw well for the heat tonight, or how's that looking?
Dead last.
Hey, well, you got a fast car, though. Were you able to learn anything here? I mean, obviously, I don't think the racetrack will change too much by the time you hit the speed plant later.
Track feels pretty good right now. There's a few little slick spots, but other than that, it's pretty good.
It was good to see you back behind the wheel, Glenn. I want to give you an opportunity to thank all the folks that may help you out in this race team.
All right, I'd like to thank David's Auto Center, Keller Land Services, Ricky Keller. If it weren't for him, I wouldn't be able to do it. So thank him a lot.
Hey, sharp-looking race car, too, man. I really like the wrap.
Thank you.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, from Tyler, Texas, your Trophy Dash winner for the Pro Mods, Glenn Keller. And
oh, God. Then we have a 5-star, too.
who else is out there? Who's in the 9? Sorry, I always think out loud.
Then we have a 5-star.
Spencer Coleman in the 9 car as we're at it hot. Stephen Guidry is checked out now. Stephen Guidry appears to be rocking and rolling like he's done here week in and week out here at Boot Hill. Tonight could be the night he cashes in and could get 2 consecutive victories between Arklatex and here in Greenwood. Final time around the quarter-mile speed plant here in Greenwood, Louisiana for the driver of the K1 machine. Down the back straightaway, 22 mag of Spear is broken. That's unfortunate. Hopefully he'll be able to get the car back together later on, as Spear will put on a show. But the yellow and checkers waving in front of the face of the K1 of Guidry. champ in 23. Outside of the two-time winner here this season, driving the Brian Craighead Designs. Number 90 out of West Monroe, that'll be Jody D. Jody Davidson of the Western Flyer chassis. The Marshall Missile on the loud pedal, we're underway. Griggsy going to be tough from the front row in this one, as he'll smash a loud pedal and head down the back straightaway. Derek Grigsby about to receive company maybe, though, from the driver in that 2013 Western Flyer chassis built by Curtis Allen. The two drivers who have waged war here this season, and both drivers who finished in the top 5 of this year's edition of the 5,000 win Battle of Boot Hill. It's one thing to approach 69, and it's one thing to put him into your hip pocket. And Griggsy will do everything he can to keep him at bay. Gotta change my batteries. Oh, and contact for the race lead. And Grigsby don't like it too much. Oh, man, my mic's dead. Wow, Grigsby slides right up in front of the nose. They didn't make contact that time. I think Jody did. And a wild last couple of laps there, as he'll hold on to the checkered flag. The Marshall Missile gets dropped into the hip pocket of the 90, but not for very long before Grigsby. Good to see Vick Jr. here tonight. Cade Gailey, driving car number 27 from Stonewall, Louisiana, the 11. Your Trophy Dash winner is Big Bad Bowden. That'll be Travis Bowden. The lights are out. Little John Tuggle on the throttle, and that was not a good start for him. Car kind of stepped out from underneath, and the 34 JR takes advantage. Will tonight possibly be the night that Josh Daugherty scores his first ever win here at the legendary Oval?
I like that car.
It's pretty. Hey, I fell down in something. Into turn number 3. Daugherty went way up top that time. Oh, and little John Tuggle got some assistance, I believe. But it was hard to tell. Maybe the car was already coming out around, because you can tell that he has a left rear flat tire, it looks like, from this vantage point. Josh Daugherty out front, he'll inherit or hold on to the race lead. We're back underway. Ryan Burke will go to second as they head off and do down the back straightaway. Here comes Bowden. Bowden's filling himself. To the inside is the 199 of inside of the 4 of Vick Jr. It's Michael Hudson. As they continue to roll around the Boothill Speedway in full throat down the front straight of the 1X of Burke. Has a bad fast car here tonight. Daugherty, though, pretty quick, and that Ford-powered 34 JR. Oh, and a little bit of contact there with Hudson. Look out, Doug Vick. What a move. Wow. You know, sometimes you make your own fate. You've sometimes got to get out of a bad deal, and right there, the 4 could have been a bad deal. As the 199 of Hudson continues to work to the inside of the 4 of Doug Vick Jr. there for the 3rd spot. As they roll off of 2 this time down the back straightaway with their sights set turn on turn number 3. The 34 JR of Daugherty still leads, despite having an ill-handling race car. The thing's pushing pretty badly through the center of the corners. But enough power to put to the Boothill Speedway Racing Service off of 4 and off of 2 to propel him down the straightaways. Ryan Burke in hot pursuit, though. Doug Vick Jr. having trouble. Just lose wholesale spots. 2 laps to go this time. Can Josh Daugherty hold on to it? and a sharp-looking throwback car. And I'm not sure Ryan Burke would love anything more, obviously, to get a heat race victory. But these two guys up front right now, if you talk to them both, they'd tell you both that they're racing for Glenn Hall in 2018. Unfortunately, we lost Glenn Hall in the offseason. One of the good guys in our sport. Fielded the car last year for Burke in that 34 JR. Josh Daugherty sported that number for many years. Of course, that's the family number. Is down the back straightaway for the final time in the 3. Hudson threw his hat into the ring, but it's a little too late. The sand of the hourglass ticked away. Or did it? He'll put a fight to the inside, but 34 JR of Daugherty's going to take the dub. 199 of Hudson came up short to the 1X of Burke, who goes second. Ducks. This driver has really stepped his game up, and he's getting better every time behind the wheel. The 27, that'll be Josh Greenwood. Outside is Cameron Furr from Gladewater, Texas, driving his own built chassis. Off of 4, underway here at the hill. 2P, that should be Pat Gay maybe. Here comes Bubba McEachern. Is that Pat Gay? That used to be his car. Here comes Furr down the back straightaway. Cameron Furr to the inside. Gladewater, Texas racer. The 17-year-old working to the inside of the 27 of Greenwald. Greenwald, 19 years old, down the front straightaway. Two youngsters going at it hot and heavy here at the hill tonight in heat race number 2 for the factory stocks. Presented by R&R Timber. Heading off a dude down the back straightaway. Ew, nearly squeezing by, he does. The 1-star of Furr, who won his heat last Saturday night at the Arklatex Speedway. Had a stellar performance, but did not get the cash in the main event. Bad luck struck once again. Now Glenn Lindsay going to work. To the outside of the 2P of Gay into 1 and 2, but here comes Bubba McEachern again. Bubba McEachern's got a hot rod tonight. And tough break for big sexy Glenn Lindsay. Not so sexy on the racetrack right now is Glenn Lindsay, having a lot of bad luck here. The People's Champion. As Bubba McEachern undoubtedly has one of the fastest cars on the racetrack right now, but the tick-tock goes the race clock. The sand is getting at a thin pace here. Into 1. The youngster out of Gladewater, Texas. 17 years old. The younger brother of the Colton Furr. As this youngster here built this car himself from the ground up. I was at his shop in the off-season and saw him building this car and really combing it over and putting a lot of passion and a lot of pride in it. Very cool, though, to see a youngster only 17 years old build his own race car from the ground up, and then to see him come out and perform in the fashion that he does week in and week out. Won several races at the Rose Bowl Speedway in Monona, Texas last season. A great young driver out of Gladewater, Texas, still in command in this one. As he heads off a 2 and down the back straightaway. It'll be 1 lap to go next time he crosses the front straightaway stripe. Cameron Furr searching around the Boothill Speedway, trying to find the click line. Using lessons learned from his father, who builds the power plants here, and of course his brother Colton, and of course his uncle Stacy Furr, who won a lot of races over at the Lone Star Speedway and won some here at Boothill. Final time in the 3 and 4. A dominant performance. Here comes Bubba McEachern on the final turn, putting the pressure on Greenwald, but it won't be enough. Your winner goes to Gladewater, Texas racer, the 1-star of Cameron Furr. The former Spring Nationals winner at Arklatex, the Styles Automotive 96 of the Nightmare, Michael Knighton. B.J. Cook, it looks to be the outside front row. It is. B.J. Cook at a Mooring Sport. Your factory stock main event winner here at our last race scored his 80th career win here at Boot Hill as they go side by side for the race lead. But speaking of the 45, Colt 45 anyway, of Dean Rasco, it's getting wild down the back straightaway. Look out. Jake Alexander. Oh, baby. Pushes way up the racetrack and off of 4. Ooh, boy. I'm trying to hold my breath. Jake Alexander is a newcomer, it appears, and he's all over the racetrack. But, hey, he's going to live. He'll learn. As finding his way to the top spot is the driver who needs and would like to cash in on a good run and turn his season around. Quite possibly one of the more talented drivers who has some pretty stellar accomplishments in his career, but over the last several seasons just can't seem to find anything less than bad luck. And right now, it's the Styles Automotive Knighton Motorsports number 96 of the Dominator Racing chassis. My goodness. The 318 of Alexander just took a wild ride. It looks like if I would have been out there tonight. And I mean, no disrespect to him. Into 1 and 2, the 96 of the Nightmare, Michael Knighton, may be stalked by the 43 J of BJ Cook for the race lead. Cook in hot pursuit. Colt 45 of Dean Rasco won our last race here.
I know what you're doing. What's his fault?
And off of 4. BJ Cook just lost the handle right in front and collects Dean Rasco. And oh my goodness, no, the rest of the entire field here. Rasco will somehow take advantage though and go to second. Will the car hold up is the question. Doesn't have significant damage. Yeah, he does have a little bit of damage. Much more damage than I anticipated, actually. Dean Rasco probably has a major vibration. But the Colt 45, baby, that's all you need. He's rolled to second for the final time around the racetrack for 9-6. So heat number 2 winner for the limited modifieds went to the 69 of Derek Grigsby. Heat number 2 winner for the factory stocks goes to the driver who swaps the 69 into a 96. It'll be Michael Knighton from Keithville, Louisiana. Colt 45 Adino, Dean Rasco parks the Walker Spring and Brake. Architects McKay Turner back behind the wheel of the Hunter's Body Shop entry and outside the final car. How about it, the former Sabine Motor Speedway track champion David Edwards from Natchitoches. What's up? Going at it pretty hot and heavy here. All cars go to the main event tonight. And off of 4, it'll be Jody Davidson with the race lead. Derek Grigsby turned him down earlier in the limited modified. He'll try to get one here in the factory stock.
If you want anything, tell the boys they'll go get it.
Going way up top that time off of 4. The 90 of Davidson, but he's still out front in command. Davidson will lead the 18 of Scott Young into 1 and 2. The battle for third is heating up. Randy Cox getting pressured by the 19 of Lipscomb. And here comes Edwards. David Edwards from Natchitoches, Louisiana, the ERC chassis, Allen's Crawfish number D3 car. Many wins over the years and limited modifieds and factory stocks at Sabine Motor Speedway down in Manny, Louisiana, Sabine Parish. Down the back straightaway, Edwards now trying to take advantage and sidestep the 45R of Cox and throw him into his hip pocket. Won't be able to get the job done this time by. That still continues to be the best battle on the racetrack right now. Scott Young separated himself from third, but the battle. Oh, and there goes Lipscomb's bad luck. Can Gary Lipscomb buy some luck from anybody? And I don't mean bad luck, because I think he's bought enough, a barrel of it for the last 5 years. Somebody help Gary out, would you? Lord Jesus, I don't mean it in a blasphemous way. I ask you to bless this driver and give him some good luck. Number 18, the 6-time Dream winner at Eldora. The lights are out, 3 wide there for second on the restart. Young says, get out of my house. The D3 of Edwards thought better of it. As David Edwards, of course, father raced here for years and won some races here. Or Big John Edwards as well down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Davidson still out front with the lead, but the driver to the 18 of Young getting pressured hard here for second. The driver out of Natchitoches, Louisiana, David Edwards. To be honest with you, pretty excited to have David here, good friend, and a very well respected racer across the state of Louisiana and East Texas. But, David doesn't race around here very often, especially for a regular Saturday night show when his home track is in competition as well. So love to see him making the charge up here. Final time in the 3, and he'll roll off at turn number 4 with a face to the white flag. This time will be the final trip around the legendary Boothill Speedway here in Greenwood.
Well, you know, this is the first time that we haven't told him how many laps.
Down the back straightaway for the former open wheel modified driver. Now in a limited modified and a factory stock full time. He'll drive it to the bottom of the 3 and 4, drift up high wide there off of 4, but smash the throttle to the checkered flag, putting that best engine to the floor. The Outlaw Chassis 98 from Western Road will go to Jody Davidson. Second, we'll go to the new week links number 18 of Scott Young. Third, we'll go to the D3 of David Edwards. A wild start in this one. They go 3 wide, folks. I'll get you that lineup here in just a moment. As they head down the back straightaway, Doug Vick Jr. doing double duty here tonight. Rolling off of turn number 4, Josh Bockham, the Benton Bullet up top. But Vick Jr. will lead lap number 1 in Pro Mod Heat Race number 1, presented by R&R Timber. Bockham rolling the outside with reckless abandon, but catches a little bit of a spot there. Slows him down just a little bit. Vick Jr. smooth as silk. Your Trophy Dash winner tonight, Glenn Keller from Tyler, Texas, is Rose. His way up to 3rd now. Randy Darling back to 4th. I believe Robert Graham is in the 9 tonight. Into 3, the Benton Bullet, Josh Bockham, our most recent winner here at the racetrack, and won it over Doug Vick Jr. Those 2 guys finished 1 and 2. Vice versa of how they're running right here in heat race number 1 for the Pro Mods. Robert Graham was 3rd last time out in the Pro Mod main event, followed by Michael Easley and Jason Beasley. Washburn was 6th. Coming into tonight's action, I do believe Mike Washburn still out front atop of the points here at Boot Hill. Doug Vick Jr. winning on week number 2 in the Pro Mod main event, and a very outstanding race with Michael Washburn. Those two's exchanged war the first several weeks, and right now knotted up for the top couple of spots in the points here at the Hill. It'll be 2 laps to go for the Vivian, Louisiana racer. The Vick family been racing around the Architects for quite some time. Growing up as a kid in the grandstands here at the Hill or down the road in Webster. You could always count on those red, white, and blue cars, and with Wayne Hill in tow as well to roll through the pit area. And off of 2 down the back straightaway for the final time. This time in the 3 and 4. And he'll roll smooth and easy. It does it off of 4. The 4 of Doug Vick Jr., the 2011 Cajun Classic champion to victory lane. Bockham will grab 2nd.
You racing?
I'm good, buddy. The 911, that'll be Tim Hornaday.
Yeah, glass of ice. Thank you.
Bradley Barnes in the 30. Mark in 60. Mike Washburn going to get the jump in the 1 and 2. They're going to go side by side for 2nd. Mark Barnes up on the wheel so far tonight. Had Derek Grigsby driving that car in a heat race a couple of weeks ago on Fan Appreciation Night. As we roll off of 4. The 9 of Robert Graham, who typically drives the Seegers Roofing number 22 sponsored car. Looking pretty fast here tonight at Boot Hill in this car. Not sure where he acquired this one or who offered him the wheel, but Robert Graham nonetheless looking very good. Mark Barnes as well looking good. How about a little bit of father and son action here? Mark Barnes leads son Bradley into 1 and 2. As we head down the back straightaway and approach turns number 3, but driving off of 4 is your race leader, the Arclitex Sheet Mill and Welding Pizza Rev sponsored number 27 of Mike Washburn. He's been just like Doug Vick Jr., Mr. Consistency, and trying to win another championship here. Your 2012 Boothill Speedway Open Wheel Modified Track Champion, USRA Modified Track Champion. I'm not sure if he ever got that paycheck or not. Surely, hopefully he did. He earned it. He deserves it. But nonetheless, that was then, this is now. Between then and that time, well, Mike is, probably the least of his worries is a little bit of that change, because guess what? I say it every time, and a lot of times. He got the most important prize, and that is that he bought himself some more time by kicking Cancer's ass. And like he's been telling his opponents to sit down and take a seat all year, he told Cancer to go ahead and take it on somewhere else. And boy, I tell you what, Mike Washburn just had a wild ride there down the front straightaway. The 911 and Tim Hornaday about dialed 911 there for both of them. Holy smokes. Mike Washburn had the pucker up there for just a second. But go, Mikey, go to the white flag this time by off of 4. The Architects Sheet Metal and Welding Pizza Rev number 27 for the final time into turns 1 and 2, putting on a clinic. And it's clear, Mike ate his spinach tonight as he's flexing his muscles, looking strong tonight. The 27 of Mike Washburn to Victor Lane. Second, we'll go to the Seegers Roofing Marshall, Texas racer to the 9 of Robert Graham. Third, we'll go to the 60 of Mark Barnes holding off Son Bradley in the 30. The 4-cylinder? Oh, I know.
Any of them.
I usually don't have to.
I do that. 8.
So the 199 is Big Mike Hudson.
It's Little Hudson.
Oh, it is Little Hudson. Okay.
So they say. Hey, how are you?
Hudson running away out front in this one of the 199. Into turn number 3, the 60 holding on to second. Jason Pilikakis. Kirsten to the inside. Kirsten had a strong run at Texarkana 67 Speedway last night there in that 7 car at Texarkana. John Lafitte there in the 29 trying to roll up inside of the top 3 as well. And it looked like they made some contact. Rebecca Lindsay nearly lost the handle there in the 1 and 2, but was able to straighten it back out. But right now it's all Mike Hudson out front with the race lead. So you see a lot of these 4-cylinders since this class started a couple of years ago. And you've seen some cars that a lot of people would probably still enjoy to drive down the road to their day job. As the 199 of Hudson's in a Mazda 3. I think the oldest version of a Mazda 3 is like 2003. So it's pretty interesting anyway. I'm slow tonight. I mean, I'm not.
Well, there's not much you can say. You don't have one?
That's why. Kirsten ran down the 199 of Hudson, but came up short at the line. So your unofficial top 3 for the front-wheel drive 4-cylinders here at the Hill. And heat number 1. What's the number? What's that? Adrian Kennington in the 6K tonight. The lights are going to go out 8 laps of distance, and your 4-cylinder heat race number 2. Down the back straightaway, Lindsay got the door slammed right in front of his face there in the turn number 3, the 14 of Collier slammed the door shut. As they roll off a turn number 4, Lindsay all over his tail tank now. Lindsay looks like he's in a Dodge Neon. Oh boy. Here comes Uncle Steve. Steve down the back straightaway with the inside of Collier, the reigning track champion here at the Hill in a Ford Focus. And he better get focused because Steve's all over him. Tyler Moore, though, out of Marshall, Texas. Trying to hopefully one day become a serious name of the Marshall Mafia. Down the back straightaway. The best battle on the racetrack is, in fact, for second. As Collier pushes up the racetrack, opens up the door for Lindsay to go by. Lindsay will go to second, this time at the stripe. But Collier going to fight back to the outside of the 1 and 2. He slams the door shut again. They make contact. More contact in the 1 and 2. As Collier continues to set his sights now on the rear deck lid of the 5L of Steve Lindsay here for the second spot. And Collier might be a little hot underneath the collar. Down into 1 and 2. Tyler Moore running away from the competition in this one. And heat race number 2 for the 4-cylinders here at the Hill. Tyler Moore is just really smooth on his entry into turn number 3 and the way he's able to kind of dive through the center of the corner off of 4. Just has a really, really smooth approach to how he approaches the corner and how he exits, man. That car does not really ever upset. It stays very straight, and he doesn't have to oversteer the car, which is obviously the reason why he's catapulted so far out front. But I tell you what, Steve Lindsay has a very good approach as well to how he's driving that front-wheel drive machine right now. Obviously, an entry-level class. I tell you, these things do get faster week in and week out, and there is a method to the madness as far as being able to pilot one of these things and be successful. Final time in the turn number 1 for Tyler Moore out of Marshall, Texas. He'll head down the back straightaway. Into 3 and 4 for the final time. To the checkered flag from Marshall. Tyler Moore in the 3 car takes the dub. Second, we'll go to Keithville's Steve Lindsay in 5L. The reigning track champion of the 14 is Chris Collier. He'll grab third. Your first main event of the night on our 6th race of 2018 here at the legendary racetrack in Greenwood, Louisiana. We're underway and on demand on RaceOnTexas.com. Will it be the Marksville Madman Stephen Gidger to grab his first win here of the year? Or will the Marshall Missile grab his second of the year? Grigsby going to go top shelf. High side hustling there. Off of turn number 4 and look for some dig and some bite off of 4. He'll find it. Not quite enough, though, to overtake the K1 as Gidger leads lap 1 here at the hill. Here comes the Marshall Missile, rocketing off the exit 2, gives the K1 a shot in the tail tank, and nearly knocks Gidger a little cattywampus there at the midpoint, and they roll off of 4. Derek Grigsby all over the K1 of Stephen Gidger here early on. Grigsby knows he's got to get what he can get early, as oftentimes these races are won early on, and if he can get out front and get some clean air, he may be able to separate himself. Derek Grigsby right now driving the 69 with reckless abandon. And the left front, the nose piece, the plastic on the nose piece, and the caution comes out. Steven would do the same. So here we go, Guidry on the loud pedal, getting the party back started off of turn number 4. We're backing away here at Boothill. As they head back off into turns 1 and 2. Down the back straightaway, the Marshall Missile. I'm going to go to the low side of the Boothill Speedway through 3 and 4 this time and put the heat on the K1. And no matter what, Stephen Guidry is going to absolutely have to earn this victory, as most victories are earned and never given. Some you just have to drive a little bit harder and more on the edge than others. And tonight, you've got 3 of the best right now in the business in the top 3. And then you throw in the former Louisiana State champions, father and son, running 4th and 5th respectively off of 4, as Cliff Tupper bobbled that time, opened the door for his son Cody to go by. Cody Tupper, who won his first ever limited modified race and his first ever limited modified start back on July the 3rd of 2015. Sorry, my mistake, 2016 at Arklatex Speedway. Been looking pretty strong here all season long, sits top 5 in the points. As now the K1 of Guidry is able to kind of step himself away from the 69 of Grigsby, as Grigsby still marching around the top shelf of the racetrack. Jody Davidson in hot pursuit of the 69. Those two had a hellacious battle earlier on in the heat race. As we head back down the straightaway into turn number 3 with Guidry in the K1, the Paul Davis Restoration Pitra race engine powered Express chassis. That Express chassis built and manufactured by Shane Hebert from Lafayette, Louisiana. Grigsby, of course, in the Ingalls Racing Performance chassis. Sporting sponsors from Marshall Lubin Auto, JCT Auto Sales, One Call Staffing, and 5-star builders. But it's just a matter of time. Grigsby's starting to lean that chin down and get focused. Grigsby clenching the teeth now, starting to feel it. And it's coming to him. The Marshall Missile. Ready to engage. Lap traffic up in front. He'll go to the bottom side of the Boothill Speedway this time. Show a little bit of his nose to the K1 of Guidry to let him know, hey, I'm going to make you earn it each and every turn tonight. Into turn number 3. Grigsby going to go back to the low side. The K1 of Guidry still leads here at the Boothill Speedway. Off of turn number 4, back down the front straightaway into turn number 1. A car length or so picked up for the 69 of Grigsby, but Grigsby, the car just got a little bit loose there off the exit of turn number 2. Drives it back deep into turn number 3 and grabs some cushion off of 4 and smashes back the loud pedal. Derek Grigsby, your opening night limited modified winner here, with Casey Penn finishing second. Guidry was third on that night, back on March the 10th. March the 17th went the your limited modified winner, of course, went to Jody Davidson over Corey Grigsby and Cody Tupper. And then, of course, the 5,000 win Battle of Boothill came around, and Guidry had nothing but bad luck that weekend. But Jimmy Day, of course, piloted his car to a big $5,000 victory. Tracy Denby Jr. and Jody Davidson and Derek Grigsby were third and fourth, respectively. As the K1, oh boy, the Jody Davidson just smacked the wall there off the exit of turn number 2. As Davidson, like I said, won here. Now, March the 31st. But Stephen Guidry tonight looking for his first win of the season with 5 laps to go. 5 laps to go into turn number 1. And Grigsby's just getting a little bit closer, but not close enough. Not close enough to pull the trigger and make a bonsai move here with a few to go. Boy, the way he just drove that car deep there into 3 and 4. It won't be for a lack of effort tonight for the driver of the JCT Auto Sales, Marshall Lubinato, number 69. Down the back straightaway. It'll be 3 laps to go this time by. My mistake, 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go for the Marksville racer, Stephen Guidry. Guidry, the runner-up to Denny Gabar last Saturday night here at Boothill. Sorry, 2 Saturdays ago and 1 last weekend in Vivian. Final trip around the legendary oval here in Greenwood, Louisiana tonight. Off of 2, down the back straightaway. Into 3, and off of 4. It will be his second consecutive victory at 2 different racetracks. The Marksville Madman Stephen Guidry is going to park in an ABC Auto Parts victory lane tonight here at the Boothill Speedway. Performance tonight for the driver out of Marksville, Louisiana. And this Paul Davis restoration. Joel Cuvion Racing Components, K1 Contractors. 41 shocks by Earl Baxter. Peacher Race Engine Power Plant underneath the hood. I tell you, if you've been to Boothill all year long, or if you've been to any area racetrack, you know Stephen Guidry is always a threat and always a factor. But it seems that the luck is finally turning around for driver K1.
He might have, I don't know. He may have, yeah. I don't think the guy, he didn't get this one, so we did it with your back right.
So Stephen Guidry getting ready to climb out of the race car. Residing out of Marksville, Louisiana. I call him the Marksville Madman, climbing out of the race car in Victor Lane here at Boothill Speedway. Stephen Guidry, what a dominant performance tonight after you dominated at Arklatex last weekend. This is 2 in a row for you and this K1 race team. This has to feel special with how the year started off.
Oh yeah, we actually lost our main power plant at the beginning of the season. We had to put the small little what I call the baby motor in, and she's holding strong right now. That's everything she wanted right there.
Despite a lot of different places to race this weekend, when you come to this racetrack, you're still going to have to earn them. You've got Grigsby, Jody. I mean, the list goes on and on. I mean, this is a who's who of racing out here. I know it feels especially good to beat Derek. I know he gave you a little shot in the shorts there to let you know he was there in the first few laps.
Oh, that's just hard racing with Derek. I'm sure he didn't mean nothing by it, but I mean, me and Derek park next to each other each week. We pretty cool, so
yeah. I actually told the race fans that.
Yeah, it's just hard racing when you come up here. I mean, you have to earn each and every victory. I mean, you can't take a weekend off if you show up here.
Is there anything that you particularly found in your racing program, or was it just a matter of fact that, okay, you're starting to string along some good luck? Because sometimes you just have to have that luck go along with the talent and all the hard work you put into it. Is that just what it is? Is it just seems like things are just clicking well now?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got to have a lot of luck in this sport. I mean, me and my crew chief, Terrence, unfortunately, he couldn't be with us tonight. But me and him put countless hours in this car in the off season and every week. So we finally got a good string of luck going, and it's paying off.
Man, let's hear about all the great folks that help you out in this race team.
First of all, I got to thank my mom. Happy Mother's Day. Got to thank Lil Randy. He provides my parking spot. My girlfriend Erica, my crew chief Mr. Terrence, Paul Davis Restoration, River Runs, Dirt Service, JCR Components, J&J Motorsports, TCC, Simpson Racing Products, K1 Contractors, Showtime Signs, Petrie Race Engines, KG Sandblasting and Powder Coating, Mike Driggers Products and Bodies by 54.
I tell you what, Stephen, a lot of folks have started to take notice of this K1 car. They certainly appreciate watching you race here. I had a few people message me last week and says that K1 going to be here because everybody was racing. They didn't know. But it's always good to see you at Boothill, man. We thank you for choosing to race at this racetrack. You could have went to anywhere else. A hell of a run tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank y'all, and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
Congratulations. Give it up for him, folks. There's Grigsby and Vick Jr to give him a congrats.
I knew I had to go. It's hard racing. I knew I had to go.
It's part of it, bro.
Hey, why not? We get the good out of it. Derek came up. That's just good sportsmanship. You just had to come down here and congratulate him and let him know what I had already talked to him about. Gave him a little shot there, just hard racing.
Yeah, I wanted that one, man. You know what tonight is. Yeah. So it meant a lot to me, but I know it means a lot to him too. And he's a hell of a racer, man. We got to do something to keep up with him.
Love you, dude.
Yeah.
Give it up for him, folks. The Marshall Missile, Derek Grigsby, has a great run here tonight, finishing second. But, you know, I don't mean to put you on the spot. It's just, how many times have I came to the racetrack, whether you're supporting Ronnie Adams, supporting him, or John, whoever it was, I'll tell you, you love this sport dearly. I know it means a lot when you see your son park it in Victor Lane.
It sure does. He's put out so much hard work into this with college and everything else, and to see it pay off, he's had some bad luck at the beginning of the season, but hard work, never give up.
He's a great driver, too.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Always good to see you, Miss Liz.
Thank you.
One for the mom tonight. How about it'll be up to Doug Vick Jr. to throw his foot ball off of turn number 4, this time by Vivian, Louisiana's Doug Vick Jr. going to send him back off of forward, back underway at Boot Hill. Good restart by Josh Bockham. He'll go to second to the inside of Mike Washburn and take that spot away. So Washburn will fade to third. We got trouble down the back straightaway. Glenn Keller, look out, look out, look out. That could have got much worse. Could have been a lot nastier for what was playing out on the back straightaway. And this time, a much better restart for Washburn. He'll try something. He'll take that second spot and back away on this restart. Into turn number 3. So Washburn elected not to do what cost him that last restart and takes advantage and does the exact opposite. Now I'll set his sights on the 4 of Vick Jr. These two, 1 and 2. Oh, no, we have one hard upside down. It's Robert Graham on the front straightaway, a wild flip. Not a hard flip, but nonetheless, it's still a flip. And one upside down, James Griffin, the first guy out to that driver to check on him. Doug Vick Jr. ready to put his foot through the floorboard. He'll do it. We're back underway. Vick leads them into 1 and 2. Washburn had to stomp on the brakes pedal just a little bit there into the center of 1 and 2 to get the car to rotate. And sets his sight back to the outside of the 3 of Josh Bockham from Benton, Louisiana. Bockham going to slide up in front of the nose of the 27, and he takes the second spot and back away. So each of these last couple of restarts, they have swapped the positions. Washburn trying back once again. Mike Washburn has only finished outside of the top 2 all season long here one time, and that was last Saturday night when Bockham won the main event and Washburn finished 6th. Down the back straightaway into turn number 3, it's all Doug Vick Jr. out front on his lonesome. Has not yet really been challenged in this race, and each and every restart he hits them perfectly and just gets to run smooth and run his own race. If you've been around this sport long enough to know where driver 4 excels, well, he typically excels any and every dirt track Saturday night, but when the track is especially slick, Doug is a master. obviously won $5,000 taking the 2011 Cajun Classic, the first Cajun, the first representative out of the great state of Louisiana to win the Cajun Classic at Gene Borders Untitled Speedway. As he rolls off of 4, Vick Jr. excelling once again here. These asphalt pull-off tires. When this class began several years ago, been a while now. I think they started in 2010. But Doug Vick Jr., no surprise though that he's taken a liking and done so well in this class considering all the success he's had with those factory stock asphalt pull-off tires. This style of car just provide, you can run as much motor as you want. The name of the game is just trying to get these cars to hook up and getting that tire to hook up on the racing surface. We'll see, though, because Josh Bauckham is finally starting to find his niche in this class. And just as I say that, he slid way up top of the hill off of 4 and opens the door back up for the 27 of Washburn as we're halfway in. 50% complete in this one and a slight job in a 1 and 2. Or slid up right in front of the nose anyway. Did not allow the 3 car an opportunity to drive back down underneath. But Bauckham fading back to 3rd once again as Washburn takes advantage. Lap traffic about to become a little bit of a reality here for Doug Vick Jr. Not too thick, not too heavy, though, for him to navigate his way through. Shouldn't be a problem, and it won't be here to dispose the first one to go a lap down. It'll be the 9. The next victim will be the 33 of Darlin, who's about a half a straightaway up of head, as well as the 911 of Tim Hornaday. You got to be careful, though, because both of these guys are all running a different lane around the racetrack. So the lap traffic is still there, and Doug Vick Jr. is about to get bottled up by it because they're 2 different lanes wide in front, and right now Washburn is closing the gap. Washburn is closing the gap, but Vick Jr. is going to have to go and go. Now he gets bottled up again. Comes from the bottom, back up to the top, and now Mike Washburn in the same scenario that the 4 was just in. He'll waste no time. Oh, look out, Mike. That was a close one. So as Mike Washburn races his way around the lowest point of the front straightaway here at Boothill to dispose of lap traffic, the 3 of Bauckham trying to navigate his way around as well. It tightens up your top 3 just a little bit closer as we come down to 5 laps to go for car 4 of Doug Vick Jr. Two laps to go for Doug Vick Jr. Washburn has kept him honest enough, though. I mean, just one little mistake for the 4 Vick Jr. He may be able to cause one little mistake, but he won't be able to give much more. As look at the way Mike Washburn's able to drive that car so deep into the corner. He may have been wishing that he had found that maybe a little bit sooner as the white flag is out. Mike has lost the race on the last lap this year to Doug Vick. Can he still win away here on the final turn and do the same thing that was done to him? Final time in the turn number 3. Mike's able to drive that car deep into the corners, but he's still going to come up short. His 2nd win of the year. He's finished no worse than 1st or 2nd all year long. Doug Vick Jr. takes another dub here at Boothill. Billy Robinson built this car for Doug. And the 5-time Untitled Speedway factory stock track champion. Give it up for him, Boothill, for Doug Vick Jr. in 4. Another one to hang in the shop here for you, Doug. What you checking out here?
The rear end's blowing up.
Is it?
Look under there.
I don't know if I want to. That's
Good race, bud.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Mike, come here a minute. I tell you what, if it's not Mike Washburn or you two guys have waged war all year long. You haven't finished worse than second at Boothill all year long. You've either won or finished second. Last week when Baca won, you finished second. What is it about this program right now? Is it the asphalt pull-off tire that you've accomplished so much in over the years and the factory stock that translate over so well? What is it, Doug?
I don't know. They're just hard to drive. You got to keep them straight, and I don't know. That's how I like driving them.
And every week you know this guy's going to be a tough character.
Oh, yeah, he's the one to beat for sure.
You've been having a lot of racing at this racetrack, man. How much do you enjoy racing at Boothill? I mean, in both classes.
Oh, I love it. That wouldn't be anywhere else.
Point leader right now, but pretty sure this one's going to come down to the wire this year with driver 27 as well.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is. Hey, man, let's hear about everybody that helps you out in the race car, Doug.
I got to thank my dad, Stormy, Big Show, Cameron, and Chad, everybody that helped me work on it. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here.
Congratulations to you, Doug Vick Jr. Well-earned, well-deserved victory tonight.
Thank you.
Give it up for him, folks. Doug Vick Jr. We'll catch up with the Open Wheel Modified Track Champion here from 2012. Mikey, I think you found something there in the late going. I'm not sure. He said his rear end may have been going out, but you were driving the car much deeper into the corners at the top side in 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. It looked like the car was picking up speed.
In 1 and 2, you had to go up there to get any traction. Felt like I was on ice down in the groove, but 3 and 4, I was good the whole night.
The same thing I said to him. He hadn't finished outside of the top 2 all year. Last week, that was the first time that's happened for you. You got 6th in the main event,
Flat.
but yeah, you had a flat, which caused that for you. But that's how close I think this points battle is going to come down this year. Just a little mistake like that to give up. I'm sure you'd want that one back.
Absolutely.
Hey.
Go ahead.
No, nonetheless, though, it's been a heck of a year for you, Mike.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Now, let's hear about
racing with him and Josh. It's a lot of fun.
Some good shoes up there. I mean, let's hear about all the great folks that help you out in that race team.
Number 1 would be my wife, Pam. Pizza Red, brand new pizza place. Y'all go try it out.
It's good.
Architect Sheet Metal, McDonald's, Connie's Hideaway.
How do we get a McDonald's and a pizza sponsor on the same car? That's pretty legit.
I don't know.
Good to see you, Mike. Good run tonight.
Thanks, Zach.
Give it up for him, folks. Mike Washburn. Yes.
Okay, I didn't want to roll off.
Well, this youngster's already running down. I would let you, Levin, but you're here every week. And you going to help me out? The 4-cylinder main event's on the way. For all the folks that look like they're going to get loud for them, just throw it up in their direction, okay? All right, thank you. Y'all make some noise for this. How did that turn out? Uh-oh. Having fun. That's what it's all about. The 7 of, looks like Chris Kirsten is on the pole tonight. My bad for not giving you the lineup. John LaFease in the 29. Tyler Moore from Marshall's on the outside pole. The lights are going to go out. We're going to go green for 15. Here we go. Kirsten gets the jump here early on and jumps out to the race lead as they go down the back straightaway. Tyler Moore holds on to second here early on. As they head into turn number 3 here in your front-wheel drive main event at the Boothill Speedway, the 6th race of the 2018 season. Alpha 4 down the front straightaway, the 7 of Kirsten leads. Steve Lindsay putting the heat all over Tyler Moore there for the 2nd spot as they head off into 1. Lindsay going to try it down the back straightaway to the inside now. Steve Lindsay going to try the low side of the Boothill Speedway. They're going to go 3 wide here through the center point of 3 and 4. Oh my. 3 wide momentarily. As they go back into turns 1 and 2. Tyler Moore got a little loose there, but Chris Kirsten is gone with the wind out front. Absolutely gone tonight is the Texarkana racer, Chris Kirsten. And Kirsten just pushed way up the racetrack, may have broke, I'm not sure. Kirsten may have broke, and he did. Kirsten broken off the pace now, opens up the door. Tyler Moore going to go to the race lead. Moore will go to the race lead now, inheriting the top spot after the mishap for the 7 of Kirsten. Kirsten was absolutely gone tonight until the mishap, and now lap traffic will become a factor here. Lap traffic up ahead as Moore is going to thread the needle to the outside. Steve Lindsay still doing a fine job holding on to the second spot in Fayetteville. Chris Collier, the reigning track champion, sits third. As Tyler Moore continues to lead here at Boothill Speedway, the Fayetteville Steve Lindsay has rolled up to second. Steve Lindsay getting all the help he can up front. This young lady here. Only halfway in, halfway to go. Tyler Moore continues to lead here at Boot Hill with a comfortable advantage out front. Seemingly can't do any wrong right now as he has about a straightaway advantage as he heads down the boulevard. I gotta get up on top. It'll be 5 trips around the Boothill Speedway to settle the score tonight in this one. The Fayetteville of Lindsay is going to have to do something miraculous to take the win here tonight, but if a caution comes out, I would say that he'd be a factor. He'll get bottled up behind the lap traffic, though. As Tyler Moore, who won his first race and his first ever start here last August, it'll be 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go this time by at the stripe for the Marshall Texan, Tyler Moore in 3. These guys in this race right here could be your next late model star in maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years. You never know. Tyler Moore out of Marshall, though. He's in command of this one. He'll get the party back started. We're back underway here at the Boothill Speedway in your 4-cylinder A main event. 2 laps to go as Keith Barker waves the green. Into 1. Lindsay going to get pressured here off the exit of 2 as they head down the back straightaway for the final time. Or 1.5 laps to go. It'll be 1 to go this next time by at the line. Steve's trying to fight back to the outside as Vine's throwing his hat into the ring here. Okay, well now it's 2 to go. A little confusing, but a great race going on there for second. A little bit of bumping, a little bit of revving. Oh, and Steve Lindsay nearly lost the handle in a 1 and 2 on the final lap. But the final time in the turn number 3, he threw the keys on the counter and he'll check out of the Holiday Inn. Dominant run for the Marshall Texan, Tyler Moore. Crosses underneath the checkers, your winner tonight. And a dominant run tonight. Even the green-white checkered restart couldn't dethrone him tonight. So the youngster from Marshall, Texas, give it up for him, Boothill Speedway, Tyler Moore back in victory lane. And the Tyler Moore fan club's in victory lane. Tyler, face the race on Texas.com cameras here, man. I tell you what, bud, that was a pretty stellar run for you, bud. The car was real hooked up. I was just trying to get you to come closer to me.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
But the car, I tell you, you were absolutely dominating. You nearly had a whole straightaway advantage over the 5L of Steve Lindsay. What were you thinking when the caution came out with a few to go?
I got a little nervous, and I was just thinking if I can hold it up for the next 3 laps, I'll be pretty good.
I mean, as good as the car felt to you, you were thinking, ain't nobody going to get around me as good as this thing's rolling right now.
On 3 and 4, I was feeling good, and 1 and 2, it'd get real sloppy like I couldn't turn. I didn't know if they were going to hit me up on the high side and just pass me.
Is your mindset, or how you're driving this race car, you're just trying to make sure you're smooth each and every lap? Because, I mean, from my vantage point, you were the smooth as silk out there. I mean, it looked like you were just trying to keep the car straight and not upset it.
Yes, sir. You just got to, make changes every week and see what goes good and goes bad and just change from it.
How many starts is this now for you? I mean, probably less than 15, though.
Yes, sir.
Didn't you win in your first ever start?
Yes, sir.
I'll never forget it. And that was a pretty exciting night. I will never forget it. Yeah, you're like, what do I do with my hands? But, hey, man, congratulations to you. I want to give you an opportunity to thank each and everybody that may help you out in this race team.
My mom, my dad, Mama, Papa, Robert Jr., Scott, Robbie, Ryan, Blake, Caitlin, Robert Sr., DNF Erectors, and Hargett's ATV Repair. I'd just like to thank everybody that helped me on the car and get it ready to get here.
Do you have future aspirations in this sport? Like if we get this down pretty good and you have the money maybe to do it, do you want to race in the future in any other classes, or what may be your plans or your dreams?
Yeah, next year I plan on moving up to another class, and I don't know why I started driving, but now I'm addicted.
I love it, and you're great at it, man. Congratulations to you, Tyler.
Thank you, sir.
Give it up for him.
Fans out here, I'm glad y'all came out and watched.
And happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, from Marshall, Texas, Tyler Moore. Lights are out. How about 20 good ones here at the Boothill Speedway? 6th race of the 2018 campaign. Your factory stock A-mains underway with 2 drivers on the front row that are hungry, that have never won here at this racetrack. Damn it. Daughtery going to get the jump into 1 and 2 on the 1 star of your outside pole sitter, Cameron Furr from Gladewater. As we started all 26 factory stocks that rolled into the pits tonight, and Furr's got a good run to the outside into 1. Pulled to the back bumper to the 34 JR. And Furr's got a big run here to the inside for the race lead. Down the back straight to the door-to-door for the top spot. Wheel to wheel into turn number 3. They're 2 and 3 wide. All the way through the pack, we got Randy Cox around at the tail of turn 2. And smell that. Josh Daughtery gonna light the cake, or light the candles on the cake off before we get this party back underway. Fur's all over him off of 4 down the front straightaway. They try to go 3 wide here for a second. Oh, and Cameron Furr nearly lost the handle. He did. The car stepped out from underneath him, and the 90 of Davidson's a victim of circumstance, and the 96 of Knighton in as well. The 1 star just stepped out just ever so slightly. They straightened him back out. Lane tonight. 34 JR of Josh Daughtery going to lead the herd of Hungry Hounds behind him to the stripe. We're back underway here at the Boothill Speedway in your factory stock main event. Down the front straightaway, we are back underway. Into 1. How long will the 1 star Furr be able to hold on? Does he have damage? Does Knighton have damage? They go down the back straightaway. Wow, that was close quarters racing. The 1 star looked like he nearly was going to drift up in the corner, and the caution's back out. We've got a Walmart and a Target parking lot there for a moment. Your top 4 looking for their first win here this season. Burke's looking for his first win since last year. Dean's trying to go back-to-back. The lights are out. We are back underway. And I don't believe Michael Knighton has ever won here in a factory stock. He has won here in the old pure stock truck class as he sails it off into 1 and 2. They're 3 wide. Here comes Ryan Burke. Oh, and the 1X of Furr is going to go right in front of the field, and this will not be good. It actually could have been a lot worse. Could have been much worse. But unfortunate circumstance for the 1X. Tuggle.
What did you say?
4 laps complete, 16 to go. A lot of time left in this one. We're back underway at the hill. So how many laps complete?
We have 4 complete.
4 laps complete. 16 to go. Down the back straightaway. Here comes Dino. Here comes Knighton. Knighton going to drive it to the top shelf of the Boothill Speedway this time by. All you can ask for is for a racetrack to be racy like this. I mean, they are literally 1 by 2 by 2 by 2, 3, 4 wide all the way to the tail. We got one around in the middle of 3 and 4. No harm, no foul. Knighton going to go top side hustling once again. He's going to get a run this time, folks. Here he comes. Knighton going to try to fit it to the outside of the 34 Junior. He'll fit it. And the piece of the puzzle does not quite stay fit. He'll cross underneath the 34 JR. Josh Daugherty is absolutely on the wheel. They make contact. They make contact down the front straightaway. The 96 of Knighton going to sling it off back into 1 and 2 to the inside of the 34 JR. Ryan Burke right there licking his chops saying, show it to me again. Show it to me again, Bill. BIL, that stands for brother-in-law, off of turn number 4. The 1X going to show it to the inside of the 96 of Knighton. The 18 of Young all over the tilt tank of the Colt 45 of Dean Rasco for the 4th spot. You got a hell of a race brewing here in Greenwood, Louisiana tonight in your final race of the afternoon here on Mother's Day weekend. Down the back straightaway, the 34 Junior of Josh Daugherty. Making that car wider than a triple wide trailer. Got Glenn Hall riding with him, as well as I think Glenn's riding with the 1X of Ryan Burke. They're trying to go 3 different lanes wide for the race lane. And here comes Knighton. Knighton going to finally lead his first lap of the main event. Michael Knighton going to lead his first lap of the main event, and he goes way up top this time into 1 and 2 and allows the 34 JR to get a run. But Knighton going to use that outside line momentum and rock it down the back straightaway. That's Stuart Knighton power underneath the hood of the number 96. They're 3 wide for the race lead. What more do you want, race fans? You got 3 of the hungriest drivers and 3 of the most deserving drivers in the sport right now. And your top 3, had Dean Rasco not won last weekend, you would say the same for him, as he won his first race here since since August the 29th of 2015. Last weekend, his 80th victory in his career at the legendary Oval right here in Greenwood. Oh, and contact between the 34 Junior and the 1X of Burke. That time, a little bit of contact as one coming off the front straightaway there, but the 96 of Michael Knighton still out front in command in this one. And now Dean Rasco throwing his hat into the ring and becoming a player. The 34 JR going to pull back to the outside. A flawless race being driven tonight by Josh Daugherty. And back into turns 1. Michael Knighton. And here comes Burke. Keithville, Louisiana, trying to rise to the occasion as they're running 1 and 2 right now, representing that town well off of 4. It's still the Nightmare out front. And a stellar performance tonight. Knighton not being complacent, sent it up top and let the big dog eat, and went right by the 34 JR to the top spot. And now the brother-in-laws run 1 and 2. I don't know that if Glenn Hall could ask for any more than what he's seeing here. Certainly would, I'm sure, love to see that 34 JR parked in Victor Lane. But I'm sure that he's looking down from above, pulling for the 1X of Burke. And all these cars inside the top 3 in any chronological order would have been satisfactory for him. Off of 4. It's still 96 of Knighton. And Knighton went way up top once again. Boy, I tell you what, he is flirting with disaster, folks. There's a thin line between love and hate. You'll be loving yourself every time you find that cush and you grab it and it bites for you. But I tell you what, you'll be hating yourself as soon as you slip that right Hoosier tire over the lip just a little too much. And Knighton is flirting with it right now. What happened to Bubba McEachern? He never came out for his... As they continue to roll. How about the run tonight nonetheless for Ryan Burke? Daugherty, regardless, if he led laps in this race, he showed that he can wheel a race car. It's first time to be out here and racing all season long, and it's been quite some time for Josh. And this is definitely got to give him a shot in the arm. It might sting a little bit considering that he was right there, potentially to cash in on a victory. But you got to give props to Ricky Burke, track owner Tim Higgins, for the great racing service that has been prepared here once again on this dirt track Saturday night. If you want to race, the hill's the place. And right now, they're able to race all over this racetrack. It'll be 2 laps to go, and it'll be squared up and be settled between brother-in-laws. The Nightmare, Michael Knighton, and the 1X of Ryan Burke. We could be setting up for a wild photo finish. This is what these two families probably dream of, but it's probably their worst nightmare as well. Off of turn number 4. Down the front, straight away to the white flag, the Nightmare. Michael Knighton continues the lead, trying to get his first factory stock win here at the Boothill Speedway. Oh, and the caution's going to come out. Oh, no. Oh, no.
I don't have room for another lap. This is our last lap.
Here we go, race fans. Who's it going to be? The Nightmare, Michael Knighton on the loud pedal. We're back underway.
You better throw that checker this time.
Should be a green-white checkered restart and a good restart by the 1X of Ryan Burke. Oh, and the 34 Junior of Josh Daugherty is going to go around. We may get caution. We probably will, and we will. But the caution is not yet out. We're still green. Burke's to the inside of the 96, and the caution waves. So 96 and Knighton going to lead them down to the stripe. It'll be a green checkered finish. We get one lap. Who's it going to be to settle the score? Ryan Burks through the car to downtown Shreveport, Louisiana on that last restart. We'll see what happens. We're back underway. And a good restart by Dino. Rasco got a good start. Dean Rasco got a great start here, and they're 3 wide, trying to go 4 wide. They're off the exit of 2 back there for 4, 5, 6. The checker's going to come out this time by. Final time in the turns 3 and 4. Ryan Burke's going to get a bite, the Colt 45 around the hub, but his first win in the factory stocks at Boothill Speedway, long overdue for the Nightmare, Michael Knighton in 96. As Michael Knighton gonna park it on the slab. I'm gonna see if I can get a word with Ryan Burke as well. And that's how much it means to Michael Knighton. He has been long, long overdue, folks. Those donuts right there indicate a lot of tough last couple of years and a lot of frustration and a lot of hard nights in the shop. And no better way for family to finish 1 and 2 tonight. Awesome run, Ryan. I want to talk to you in a minute. But getting ready to climb out of the race car. His son Dylan down here with his wife Courtney and sister Jennifer, they're fired up. That's what it's all about. The former Spring Nationals champion and former open wheel modified ace. Former pure stock truck racer. He's won many here at Boot Hill, but he hadn't won one here in a factory stock. It's been quite some time since he parked it on the slab. It's going to be the driver of the Styles Automotive Dominator Racing chassis out of Keithville, Louisiana. Processing it. It's fantastic.
That damn Bart boy didn't have nothing for you, did he?
His father builds their power plants out of their shop, and Mr. Stewart down in there.
You did so good! Yeah.
Give it up for him, ladies and gentlemen, the Nightmare, Michael Knighton in Victor Lane here at Boot Hill. Mike. Hey, bud. If you can head over here just for the Race on Texas cameras for me, I'm going to let you celebrate here with your son.
Okay.
Dylan, come over here with your daddy with me, and you guys all come over here. I'll tell you what, bud. I think your emotion, come a little bit further for me. I'll tell you what, I think the emotion, I think I know how much this means to you, but I'll give you the floor, man. What does this mean right now?
First off, I got to thank my parents, man. I've been doing this for 16 years, and this one means as much as, man, the Spring Nationals in 2010 or 9 or whenever it was years ago. And I know it's just a factory stock race, but, man, these dudes are wheel, man. And when I sold my modified about 2.5 years ago, thinking I was done, and this guy right here wouldn't let me quit. And we got this factory stock, and, man, I knew these guys were racers, but I underestimated this class, and man, I worked my tail off. I mean, my dad, my mom, they've done so much for me. My wife, I mean, we fist fight over this race car sometimes trying to make it faster, but it's for this moment right here, man. Winning, I mean, it's everything. I mean, it's what every one of us worked so hard for and spend every dollar we have, and I mean, to win. I mean, there's no better feeling in this world than coming off of turn 4 with a checkered flag in there, and there's nobody beside you. I mean, I can't explain it right now. I mean, I've thought about this moment a long time, and a lot of days going to the racetrack thinking maybe this is it, but I never expected to react and be emotional like I have, and it's just that's how much winning means. And whether you're racing factory stock or modified or whatever, man, winning means everything. That's what we all strive for.
This class is as competitive as any class that I've ever seen or announced. I'd put any of these guys up against the best racers in the country. I mean, that's why guys like Doug Ingles or Chris Hennigan, the list goes on and on. These guys run these cars, but I think the product of your emotion right now is just so many hard nights in the shop. You and your father, this is kind of a mom and pop program. I mean, you guys work and fabricate your own cars. I mean, you work so hard at this. You've had success in the past, Mike. Like you said, you've had success in the modifieds. You beat Morgan Bagley in a modified race in Vivian, the Spring Nationals, but it's just so much of this hard luck the last couple of years where it just seemed like you could not get over the hump. I don't think anybody that comes to Boothill Speedway ever doubted that Michael Knighton would get back to Victor Lane. It was just a matter of when, and when is everything going to come together. And I'm sure from your vantage point, you were thinking, I'm not sure it's ever going to come together because I can't seem to get this bad luck off my back. And that's what I feel like this moment right here finally came together for you.
Oh, absolutely, man. Like you said, we worked so many nights, so long nights trying to get this thing to go better, and it just all pays off tonight. I mean, man, I was leading 1,000 to win last year and blew up with 2 laps to go. And now last year at the 10,000 win, I felt like I had a car that I could win that race with, and broke an A-arm running by myself in a qualifying spot. There's just so many nights like that over the last couple of years, and for it all to work out. I mean, I'm not kidding anybody. Them last 2 or 3 laps, I was seeing, wait and see what's going to break next. But, it all held together tonight, and I'm just so proud. I want to thank Josh Bauckham and Ronnie Long. They built me a hell of a piece here, and and we're the only one, and we fight this deal by ourselves against a lot of builders that's got a lot of cars out there. And man, they helped me so much, and they've helped me so much getting this car right. My brother-in-law Ryan Burke, man, we've scratched our heads and worked on this thing a lot, trying to make it go better. My father-in-law, he helped me a lot last year with my motors, and of course my dad's back building them again this year. But there's so many people that help us so much, and I can't thank them all right now.
I just kind of wanted to get the good out of it because we'll celebrate this, because how is it though? The Lord kind of works in mysterious ways. You gotta wrestle the lead away from Josh Daugherty, and you know what Ryan Burke has went through. Glenn Hall, he wanted to come out here and perform well for Glenn tonight, but when you look over and you see the 1X, you're like, oh boy, I got to battle my brother-in-law to come down for this one. So I'm sure you may have been driving that thing as hard as you possibly could those last few laps, but I guess if you could give it up to anyone, you've been all right, I guess, with the 1X.
Well, I wasn't gonna give it up to him. We'd have wrecked before I gave it to him. But I hate that I kind of roughed up Josh a little bit, but man, I had such a good car, and he was kind of losing the handle there for a minute, and I knew Ryan was there, and Dean, and Doug can sneak up on one of these things any minute, and you got to go. I mean, there's no riding around in these cars.
You were running that top side too at reckless abandon. I mean, I don't think I said that if you were just this much over the top there, you would have slipped over the top. But you were running that thing on the edge of disaster tonight.
Do what it takes, man. I slipped up going into one time, and I thought I gave it away, but man, this motor pulled hard off the corner and gave me some breathing room on the other end. I gathered myself up, but I just can't believe this. This is amazing. Thank all the fans for coming out and watching this, and we're gonna celebrate tonight.
Not sure where Miss Terry is, but happy Mother's Day to you, Miss Terry. Congratulations to you, Mike. You're well overdue. It's good to see you in Victor Lane, man. I love you, bud. Congratulations.
Thank you, buddy.
Give it up for him, folks. The Nightmare, Michael Knighton, back in Victor Lane here at Boothill Speedway. It's been quite some time. Hey, for everybody that came out to Boothill Speedway tonight, we certainly appreciate